Hey everybody, just got off of work. Um, Been picking up a couple of shifts, but wanted to come out here real quickly. Uh, I'm on the wait list, of course, for Lanier. I have started doing this cycle's applications. So I've turned into, however, now they can't seem to find my transcripts. So that's another story for another day. But I did pay for the applications, but now they're like rejected or something. So they sent it back saying that they not matching the transcripts. Um, so hopefully we'll get an email soon about that. Um, Communication skills have been terrible apparently. I feel like I'm not really good at relationships and communicating. And apparently, when I'm talking about something I'm passionate about or just mentioning something, just talking, trying to have conversation, that tends to be, it doesn't go well. So, I don't know if you have any tips on topics for, talking, let me know because apparently I get too hyped up or I'm too serious about topics. Um, I can say that this week is going to be busy. My mom is starting her radiation. Of course, my stepdad does dialysis 3 days out the week. And then I juggle two jobs, um, sometimes doing 12 hours or more, depending on what's happening in the situation. I don't know. These last few months have been really stressful. Um, I think stressful on my mom. Like she broke down today and was like in tears and crying, saying she misses my aunt. But I think there's other stuff that she's probably stressed out about. I don't know. Um, like we were talking and then all of a sudden she just bust out in tears. So continue to pray for her strength. Pray for my patience and yeah, like life has been really interesting. So I've graduated, of course. Got my master's now. And when I say it is hard to literally get a job, it is hard. Um, Being a recent graduate at that, the jobs are saying they want 5 to 7 years of experience. They want you to be certified. They want something from you. Um, I just feel like it's challenging because they'll say like, "Oh, you can get these jobs," and then when you are applying, it's like you're not able to get the jobs, or oh, we're moving with another candidate. Now, granted, where I work at, I've been there 4 years. I did about 2 years as I guess, a companion or home health aide. I transferred over, so now I'm, doing a teller sitter position. I applied for something that is supposed to be what my degree says I'm eligible for, and then I got turned down. Um, I also feel like, with the PA stuff, like between spending more money to try to cover for prereqs or to do a post back, it's just like it's starting to get ridiculous with prices. And it's like, if your job isn't going to help with you taking classes, like it's just like not really in the budget. You know what I'm saying? Like people just don't understand that. Like earlier I was talking about, how people don't value time. I remember being told, like, because I never really wore a watch a whole lot, that if I didn't wear one, like it was almost saying that I didn't care about time. And for the longest, I was like, "What? Like I do care about time because I always try to be, on time for stuff. I try to mark it down. I try to remind myself. I try to do things according to what would be, the etiquette of having work ethics. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't want to, bring back flashbacks for some folks when I was having the conversation, just trying to, talk about something that, I value. Again, it's almost like, when people say I have standards and then you say, well, I don't have standards. I mean, you basically saying that you don't have the standards of someone else. You might have standards for yourself, but you don't have standards for someone else that, you know, you didn't, they're not your child. Like whatever their standard is their standards. Whatever your standards is yours. Sometimes we don't always hold people accountable, so then, you got the standards that you are now saying that you aren't doing. So, you do all these little things to try to, you know, have some kind of order. And back when I was younger, I didn't really think that I had standards for people until later on when life happened. And then I was like, okay, I have to, set boundaries. So I have to have a standard for other people that are entering my life, or you should try to, anyways. If you don't have it, that means that you haven't lived life long enough to understand what standards and holding people accountable means. Um, and so, as time went on, I learned that, yeah, I have to have some kind of standards for people. I have to hold them accountable you know, um, and if it's not making me happy, like, what are we doing? Um, so anyways, basically, I started learning what that meant as far as in standards and what type of standards I was looking for out of individuals. Trying to, communicate that as best I could. I'm not the best, I'm not best at expressing myself. So when I express myself in writing, it tends to be a little less hyped up, I guess. When I try to express it, now I sound like I'm hyped up and um, angry, upset, whatever. I don't know. Attitude type deal. A whole bunch of stuff that, other people have expressed. Then I have, some people who are like, oh, well, you didn't make sense. I don't really understand what you're trying to say if I write it down. So I don't know. You cannot make people happy. You can try as best you can, it still doesn't work. Um, but yeah, I started to, list out these things and what I wanted to tolerate, what I didn't want to tolerate, and started doing that. Now, fast forward, we're almost hitting 40. 3 years from now, it'll be 40th birthday here. And so I came on here because it was a question that was asked earlier today. My mom, kind of related the message. And so the question was, uh, you know, do Nina want kids or why don't she have kids? And let me let me just say, growing up, my value of how I wanted kids was always the same. I wanted to be married and have kids. Now, granted, I was young, stuff happened, decisions were made, and so, that was that. Um, Fast forward some years later, I got assaulted, and I was in my mid 20s. And for the longest time, I really did not trust being around a man or any of that. Um, and then years later, I told my mom about what happened, as well as my dad. And so, of course, that broke my mom's heart because I'm her only daughter. And then my dad is like, wow, what? So, you had two different expressions from two different parents. You had your dad's surprise moment and shock and speechless. And you have your mom who, what? Are you serious? And heartbroken. Anyways, moving forward, there was a few people that I thought I was getting married to, and that did not happen. I have never been proposed to. I've been told how they want to marry me, or they want to be married to me, or this and that, but I don't even get, a ring or any of that. Or a proposal. So, um, my dreams were always to get married, have a husband, get to know my husband first, and then some years later have kids. Because I wanted that time with, learning my husband and being able to enjoy my husband. Of course, I'm 37, no husband, have had a few boyfriends, some of which were not healthy, and it was what it was. Um, and I valued, the selection of what kind of man I wanted, so I didn't want to just have a kid by anybody. I wanted my kid to be by someone that, was understanding, got who I was as a person, um, understood that I have a lot of obligations and things that are happening. But also, I didn't want to have a kid or kids without having that time with them. Because I didn't get that when I was growing up. My mom, she worked multiple jobs like I'm doing now. And I refuse to have a child in the world and I have to work multiple jobs and not have time for my child. I wanted to be able to be the parent and get as much experience as a parent from day one up until graduation date. I wanted to make sure that my child was not seeing a struggle, that we had a stable household, stable income, and an example of both parents in the home working, taking turns, spending time, doing all of the necessary things that parents do. Um, and with jobs and stuff, it's not always flexible to have kids and try to work and trying to, do all the things that you want to do to provide for them. So, that is why I don't have kids right now. It's because I would like to be able to spend my time with my kids. And I would like to also spend my time with whoever becomes my husband. Um, as well as I feel like, I don't want to be selfish by working or choosing something over my kids, if that makes sense. When I was growing up, my mom and my dad, they did their own thing. I stayed with my aunt. So, it was a blessing because she had a sister that could watch her daughter, me. Unfortunately, I don't have a sister. I don't have a brother. I have step siblings, but I don't have an actual blood sister or relative that would, be able to take my kid on. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I don't want my siblings to have to take on that responsibility either. Yes, it's great that you can help me out when I'm falling short, but to, sacrifice 365 days of your life until this young person grows up to be an adult, that's a lot. She sacrificed a lot. Yeah, she tried to date and all that, my aunt, but at the end of the day, it failed because she was the type of person who wanted to be or set that example for me as a young lady growing up, that, I want you to have a stable household. I don't want you to see people come in and out of your life. I want you to be stable enough to be okay by yourself, and not always have to depend or be in a relationship every single time. um I think me as a person, relationships was my way of trying to find love, and sometimes it was in the wrong places because the person didn't understand who I was as a person, or they didn't understand what it was that I needed. I was always the one trying to do everything that they needed, what they wanted, and then it would turn into anger, resentment, and just having a hard time, basically, trying to get through all of that. I, I get into a relationship and then I'm in something else. I didn't take time to heal. I, and I think the last few people that I dated that were long term, like, past 5 years at least, 5 to 6 years at least, somewhere around that era. Like, I learned to take my time and I tried to spend time with myself. I tried to also do things that I wanted to do, what I liked, trying to figure that out. I also, didn't mind being alone because I'm already an only child. So being alone is not new to us. We have a lot to say. We talk about a lot of things, and people don't always understand that because we're the only child. So we don't have siblings that we can call and talk to. We rely or relate to or try to relate to other people, try to be understanding, try to be empathetic about, situations, try to be forgiving, loving, encouraging, try to give the best advice that we can possibly give. But then we don't get that back. And our cups end up being empty by the time we finish helping everyone else around us. And, people don't really understand what it means to be the only child because it's a lot of stuff that weighs on you. You are trying to deal with a household, you're trying to deal with school, you're trying to deal with jobs, you're dealing with bosses, you're dealing with sometimes people who are difficult, sometimes you're caring for loved ones, sometimes you are stressed so thin that everybody doesn't even pay attention to that because they just want what they want. And all you can do is try to give them what they want because you're the only child. If you had, siblings, like, you would do everything in your power to make sure that they had what they needed and wanted. Sometimes even sacrificing, if not, going the extreme of going without so that they can have it. In my case, it's my mom and my dad, so I'm always trying to make sure that they are good. And maybe it's how I respond, how I talk, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to learn that part, how to be, you know, better at communicating to them without sounding like I'm angry or I don't know, whatever other people say. I think that I am very compassionate and I love my parents dearly. So if something was to happen to them or if somebody is trying to misuse or abuse them, yes, I'm stepping in because nobody else is there to, help. And I got to be the one to make the decisions for them. When they are unable to do so, I am the one who has to take care of all of their decision making and bills and whatever else. And the ones that have siblings out here, half of y'all don't even get along with each other, let alone help with your parents. You don't even bother to come by. None of that. And then I don't understand why people think that it's always the woman or women who have to do everything. It's almost like some men don't feel that they supposed to help or do anything. But it's your parent just like it's their parent. If you have a sister, brother, whatever, like these are your parents. What is the problem? But one day you gotta get old. And one day let's hope your kids take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Let's hope that you did a good deed to somebody else if you didn't do a good deed with whoever you are dealing with. But you have people who, stop talking to each other. You got people who, they jealous and hate each other because you doing something, positive. Like I don't even understand this. You jealous because somebody did hosted a party. Well, then you host the party. Like I don't the stuff that people be hating on and saying don't be making no sense either. But this is life. This is what we deal with. When you are coming from a underserved area where people aren't being educated correctly, where poverty level is so freaking high, where people are just living like animals, like real animals out in the freaking forest or something, like you out there looking crazy because your self-esteem is so low, or you done got yourself into something, now you can't even get yourself off of it because you done got addicted to it. There's so many different shortcomings that people have to go through and go and still are going through or dealing with. And then behind the scenes, like people don't even know. People are working multiple jobs and being tired. And then the stuff that you have to do, you can't even do it because you're so tired from trying to do all these other things that you got. You trying to do your job, you trying to, clean your house, you trying to, if you cleaning out your car, whatever the case is, whatever the chore is. Like now you have got to the point that you so tired, all you want to do is go to sleep. You don't even want to even be bothered no more. You don't even feel like talking no more because when you talk, it don't come out right no way. You know what I'm saying? So now you just out here trying your hardest to be a good person, and then every time that you say something or you do something or you make a decision, this other person doesn't like what you are doing. And so now they feel like you negative and they feel like you being disrespectful and they feel like all this other stuff. But then and then some of them have their own kids that are disrespectful to them. They don't talk about that, but they talk about what you doing wrong. They talk about how you not doing something correctly. But hey, have you corrected the stuff that your kids have done to people or to you? Like, no, you have not. So how you talking about what I got going on? You can't. I don't talk about people's, situations, they kids. I don't talk about none of that stuff, what they got going on. Because I don't know. They don't know what I got going on. I don't judge people because of little stuff. But yeah, I do think that time is important. But people don't think that that's important to them. We don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. So time is very important. It should be important. You know, what now they got people, doing stuff to Trump because they don't like what he's saying. But at the end of the day, your vote is what matters. If you don't go vote, then, don't be complaining and talking about why this and that is not happening. Go vote. That's what they send the paper out. You can even vote absentee. Go do it if you want to do it. But don't talk about whoever come in office or who gets in office. I don't even really talk about politics like that either. Because, you'll get in an argument about that with people. So I really stay neutral on politics and who I'm voting for, what this and that. I don't really get into it. I go vote. I share pictures all the time like, hey, I went and voted. Hopefully you go vote, you know what I'm saying, and make a difference. Your voice is heard when you decide you want to speak up and make a decision for you to go and make that decision. Not for somebody else to tell you how to do it. For you, yourself, wanting to do it. I cannot make anybody go out and vote. I cannot tell or convince anybody to vote for whatever. Go vote. That's all that matters. Just go vote. I don't care. Just go vote. If you want to change to happen, then go vote. That's it. End of story. If you don't want to change to happen, then shut up. If you ain't gonna vote, and just see what happened. I mean, our ancestors didn't fight to open up these polls for us to be able to vote, for us not to go vote. Like, who does that? Like, I'm not gonna die trying to make you be able to do something I can do. I don't feel like I'm willing to sacrifice that much of my life for someone else that years later don't even care to do so. And it's almost like it was a waste of their time fighting to get the rights so that we could be able to vote. Even when it come to women couldn't even vote at one point in time. Black men couldn't vote because they was black, and that was against the rules at one point in time. It was so many things that happened back in history that we don't even know and don't even understand, and still don't understand why it's still happening now. But we deal with what we deal with. We have discrimination on an everyday basis. This is not new. People are getting discriminated on all types of random things. I think I was just reading an article about a young man who had to change his name on the resume, and then the company called him. Now he got to sue because that was discrimination. Like, what? Why do we have to go through all of that just to get a job? Oh, because I'm not the right color, or my name don't sound like it should be a certain race, so I'm just not gonna call you. But let me change my name and make it sound good. Oh, I'm calling you because you sound like you might be. But that's crazy. Still discriminating people. You discriminate people because they older. Golly, Lord have mercy, we wouldn't even be where we are if we didn't have older people here running stuff the way they run it, and teaching us younger folks how to do it the right way. Like, there gotta be some kind of common sense out here that says, listen, I can't learn nothing on my own because I don't have the experience and the knowledge. So let me just try to sit back and learn as much as I can learn. And then, as far as between school and jobs, I say check out, some kind of apprenticeship. Try to get, started in that. a trade or something, and get you a job that can help you. So you don't have to be in student debt, being in student debt, the life of that, forever in debt with paying and paying and paying and still not, you know what I'm saying? Um, it's so many things that we just don't even know about, and we don't talk about, don't discuss about any of those matters. But it's good that we can, discuss it and, make this platform be open so that you can kind of hear my thoughts about different things. I think about a lot of things on a daily basis. Not even sure why I think about stuff. Some stuff is random. Sometimes my thoughts are random. Sometimes I just get to talking about stuff and I get excited and I forget that I'm having conversations with people. So I end up talking more than I should. And I have really been trying to, not cut people off, try to, listen more and try to improve in that area. But yeah, I fall short on that. I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress. As we see in 24, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still, tagging along, trying to get into PA school, still trying to do all of the things that my goals that I set for myself as a kid. Yeah, they have changed dramatically on certain things, but for the most part, I have, accomplished a lot of things. I accomplished getting a master's program. I accomplished getting a bachelor's, associate's degree. I've gotten a certificate. I have done a lot of volunteer work in the community. I have, worked in being a medical assistant. I've done various things in the healthcare. And, and I just would like for one thing to go right, at least get a career started or something. It seemed like the jobs I have just end up being dead end jobs or jobs that just fall apart. So I don't know, just continue to pray for me and I'll continue to update as best I can. But yeah, I wanted to come on here and talk about a couple of those concerns or questions that have popped up. Why I'm sure they probably like, why she not married and this and that. They probably think I'm crazy. I don't know. They probably think that something wrong with me, that I might be mentally or whatever. I don't know. All the scenario types that people, put on you. Hey, I can't make everybody happy. All I can do is share my story, my journey, and hope that one day this will turn into, a reality for me where I'm live and actually showing you being a PA, encouraging other young black women to be, in the sciences and technology and just fighting for what they believe in and to make their dreams realities. And, trying to be mentored to them and, having a community, bringing back different activities for them. So I do hope that one day, if I do become a PA or a health informatics, worker, that I'm able to accomplish those goals that I still have for my community and for other communities that are underserved and not being given the opportunities and the resources. So until next time, I just wanted to come on here. It's been a long day. I started off with a hair appointment. I had a couple more errands that I had to do. So I be feeling so tired, and I try to come on here and do my videos as best I can, but it may be some pause breaks, but I will do my best to try to you know um, do something a few months out of the year now, because I don't know what life is bringing, and I really, at the moment, I kind of want to take some downtime to just kind of go in my shell for a little bit and just try to feel and figure out what I need to do better, so I can have a more positive, more energy, and just feeling, good about the things that I'm working towards. I'm definitely proud of myself. I'm definitely not I don't, boast about things that I do. I'm pretty much a silent person. I, like to knock it out, accomplish it, and then bam, I have it, type deal. I'm that type of person. I like to be a little more private about different things that I'm, really trying to get through. But yeah, there are no, perfect anything. So, I'm an A type person, so I am very antsy about different things. I like stuff to be a certain way. And I don't know, maybe I got it from my aunt, I don't know, or just maybe that was just in me to be that type of person. I do try to be chilled. I try to, relax a little bit more. I am trying to be a little more open with the humor. Still working on it, but I mean, for the most part, I have been really serious, especially about the things that I have going on, and my priorities are set a certain way, so I have to respect what I have going on, you know what I'm saying? So until next time, I will talk to you later. I'll try to give you an update. I know I'm going to Hawaii, so maybe I can do a couple videos while I'm out there, show you some, water, some beaches. I don't know, maybe show you my helicopter tour. We'll see if we can do that. If not, I'll for sure try to figure out how to put pictures up, as I have to pre-record my videos, because I can't do live yet. But hopefully I'll get enough people that one day I'll be able to do live from YouTube. For now, this is how I have to do my recordings. But until next time, y'all be safe out there. Continue to pray for America and around the world. Everyone needs prayer. Until next time, talk to you later. Ciao.